this is probably the most interesting tattoo artist that I've come across.
Thank you.
And
Sure.
I'll throw it over to you real quick. Kick us off. Chloe, who are you? Where are you from? What are we doing?
Wow, that is such a huge question. I am a tattoo artist. I am from Las Vegas, Nevada. So I'm a little bit different than your typical tattoo artist. I do tarot readings, chakra balancings, Reiki energy healing, and then I come up with a tattoo intuitively designed just for you based off of our energetic session.
That's awesome.
It's kind of changed the way that I view tattooing, where it's not just like a tattooer-client relationship anymore. Like we get very deep. And you create these incredible bonds with your clients, you know, and you assist people on their journeys, you know. Like I'm just kind of a stepping stone now where people come see me when they're about to go through a very deep, dark shadow period or something big is happening in their lives. And it's a form of giving back, in my opinion, you know? Awesome. So, tattooing for me, I like being in the game for 10 plus years. Tattooing's always been an energy exchange, but I needed to learn how to protect myself with all of the energy work that I was doing. So I ended up getting Reiki certified, and then it just went way deeper. And that's not really something you see in the tattoo industry. There are people doing it. Do not get me wrong. There are people that are bringing ceremonial tattooing into the industry, and it's been around that's how tattooing began, you know, since the inception of tattooing. But
I've never heard of that before. But can you break down the steps that you just said? Like it's like Reiki healing. Sorry, I'm blanking, but could you break down the process and what that means for someone who's never heard that before?
So, to kind of give you the gist of what Reiki is, it is the movement of energy. So, it's basically me using my hands, you know, because we are energetic beings. That is what our general mock-up is. It's energy, right? Mm-hmm. So we as humans, as souls, as spirits, we're capable of moving energy. And that's what Reiki is. It's moving stagnant energy that's lie dormant in your system, energy that you've held on to with emotions that are being held in different parts of your body that can create sicknesses, disease, mental illness, so many different things, you know? But it is the movement of that energy and healing energy being sent to those parts of the body, to those parts of the mind. We'll get different visuals. That's what I am. I'm a visual Reiki healer. So when I'm working on somebody, I get visuals that come to me. So like it'll be random. Like I'll get, whether it be anything from bugs to like animals. I get a lot of animals. It's very interesting, but I do get a lot of symbols, a lot of sigils, a lot of runes that come to me. I get a lot of words. I get a lot of feelings. I'm also a feeler. So where you are experiencing pain in your body, I will feel it in my body as I'm working on you, which is actually super intense. Wow. So like say
physical pain or
yes, physical pain. Oh, so okay. I will feel your emotional pain in my body physically. So like say I'm working on you and I'm hovering over a certain point, because basically what it is like you're running your hands down, and wherever you feel heat is where you're going to pick up energy, right? I mean, obviously you'll be guided wherever you intuitively need to go, but wherever I stop on you, I'll get a pain. Like say like you are struggling with a level of self-worth. I'll feel the pain in the middle of my back, like in between my shoulder blades. So you'll know what it is from where you feel it? Yes. Wow. Where emotions are stored in your body is where I will send energy to. Mm-hmm. It's very cool.
So this is probably a dumb question, but
no dumb questions.
How do you? So you know, you said you're certified like Reiki healer. Yeah. So you know, I went to college for I think about 6 years, long enough to be a doctor, but I never ended up being a doctor. Didn't really learn too much, but to be a Reiki healer and certified, all of that, how does that work?
So you have to go through attunements. So I'm a Reiki Master teacher, right? So I did basically everything. I'm certified through Usui Holy Fire. Holy Fire Reiki. And you do your first attunement, which then you have to wait 21 days before you're capable of doing your next attunement, your second attunement. And on the first 21 days, you do Reiki on yourself every morning and every night, as much as you possibly can, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then you go in for your level 2 attunements. And your level 2 attunements, you're capable of working on other people, not just yourself. And then you get comfortable and you start practicing. And that's when you start bringing in more people that you want to start learning and developing your gifts, because I swear to God, you get certified for Reiki and it takes you down like a massive path to your own personal alignment. I had already been going through spiritual awakenings. I had my first one at age 23, but I swear to God, when I got my first attunement, it rocked my shit. I was sitting there like every day doing healing, just like crying, sobbing, like going through all of the motions. Yeah. So when you hit level 2, you're able to work on other people. And so your gifts, I feel like if you weren't already attuned to them, especially because like I've had them since I was a kid, but they were just escalated, and you start learning how to work with people and learning how to feel different energies and learning to pick up on the things that they need through that level 2 attunement. Then you go and you get your third level attunement. And with Holy Fire, you get ignitions. So it's different than the attunements, So typically, like if you're just getting certified in Reiki, you would just go to level 3. But since I did Holy Fire, you get the ignitions directly right afterward. And with the teacher training, you go through a whole entire level of that. But you go and you sit with somebody over time after you've done your work and you've practiced enough, and they teach you. So Reiki is like tattooing, taught by other Reiki healers, which is absolutely beautiful. So it's just the same sort of level of initiation that you would go through with tattooing and like an apprenticeship, but you're being taught by somebody else.
Mm-hmm. When you're doing the process of running your hands through a person, why does I guess give me an example of like a pain that you'd feel like in your back. What does that attribute to that person?
So I guess it would depend on like obviously what they're going through. Yeah. But like I was mentioning earlier, the pain in the middle of your shoulder blades, that would be equated to self-worth. Yeah. So it has a lot to do where like I'll get like a pain in my heart if they're going through like massive heart opening or energetic awakenings that their heart is opening up to the energy and they're needing to release things or holding back from releasing what they need to release. I'll get, it's not just necessarily like in your back. It'll be, even when I'm not running my hands down like their body, I'll get feelings in my throat. Like if they have, I don't like to say blocked. Okay. So like if you have, how do I say this? It's like your meridian system, your chakras, right? So that's what we typically work with is your chakras through Reiki. We go down each chakra point, okay? So you have your crown chakra, you have your third eye, you have your throat chakra, your heart chakra, your solar plexus, your sacral, and then your root, right? Typically it would be aligned down the spine, down your back. That's where you would view it. But in Reiki, you're able to send energy. Like I could be across the room and I could be sending Reiki to you. It doesn't matter if I'm hovering over you, touching your body, or I'm across the room. It doesn't matter if you're in a different state. I can send distance Reiki, But I would get the feeling that, like, if I get a pain in my heart and then I get a feeling in my throat where I need to clear my throat or I have the feeling to cough, it's kind of showing me that they are holding back from bringing their true emotions forward. They're not setting proper boundaries. They're not allowing themselves to speak from a heart space. Same with their back, like if you get a feeling in your back and then I get a feeling in my throat, I'm like, okay, they're not speaking love into themselves. They're having trouble with their self-worth. There are things holding them back. It's like every spot on your body that you get pain. If you get pain in your knees, it means that you're holding yourself back from something. If I get a pain in my left thigh, this is like the feminine side of the body. This is the masculine side of the body. So there's different meanings behind the different sides of your body, and everybody has it. It's in alchemy, you have a feminine side and you have a masculine side, and it creates one, right? It's like
So that's how you can feel it, because everybody's chakras are technically aligned the same way.
Yes,
so
right in the middle.
Where you feel.
Okay. So it's right down the center of your spine. So you either have like, obviously both the female and the masculine side of your body, or feminine and masculine side of your body, they both play different roles in your life, and they like they're very much utilized with how you exude a level of like masculine presence, like putting forth energy, hustle culture, getting up and being motivated and doing your shit, like getting your shit done. And then the feminine side would be rest, creation, nurturing yourself, loving yourself, giving back to yourself. It's all about receiving, right? So you have all the chakras lined down the middle. And I don't like to say blocked. I don't like to tell someone like, you're blocked here. You have a block here that's stopping you from doing what you need to do. I like to say you're either balanced or you're unbalanced. It's one of the two, you know? Yeah. And it's crazy how you handle yourself in an unbalanced state, like with each one, like with your solar plexus. Like your solar plexus is utilized for depression, like how you experience joy, how you experience energy, how you experience motivation. Like your sacral is like sexual energy, sexual life force energy. It's fear, it's anxiety. It's like all of these different things and how you portray yourself in the world, you know? So if you're acting from like a lower vibrational state, like if you're partying too much, if you're indulging in really heavy shit, you're acting from an unbalanced meridian system. Wow. If you are nurturing yourself, giving back to yourself, receiving after, like giving yourself proper rest after putting yourself like in the energy of like hustling and making sure like all of the stuff that you created in your feminine, all those ideas that came to your mind that you birthed into existence and then pushed to make it happen. And then you're like giving back to yourself and doing all of the right things and like treating your body well, you're balanced. It's wild.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. I'm assuming that most people that come there's some sort of imbalance.
Yes. Yeah. You know, I think that when people come and they see me, it's just to gain a level of clarity. I try to teach my clients to the best of my abilities that they don't need me. They don't need me. We are hardwired as human beings to have a level of intuition, right? You have your psychic intuition, you have your gut intuition. So to me, when you come see me, you're just coming to see me for a level of clarity and a level of understanding of what your subconscious already knows. Because I'm going to lay out those tarot cards and I'm going to tell you, and you're going to be like, how the fuck do you know this?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be sitting here and I'm like, because you already did. Yeah. You just came to me to tell you. Go on.
I would like to let's go back a little bit. So like, you know, we're talking about all these different aspects of you know, like you're reading with somebody. Talk to us about like start to finish when a client comes in. So I book with you next week. I have my appointment with you.
Would you tell to him?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
So
wait, what about me?
I book with you. So
absolutely.
Okay, so
skip the line.
I book with you.
Like booking for October 2026.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Well, that's awesome.
Wow. Okay, hold on. Before I finish my question, that's actually very impressive. So when's your next opening? Like
just
October 2026.
Wow.
I mean, for you guys, I'll come in on a day off.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I got you. I got you.
Okay. So I come in 2:00 next Wednesday. Talk to me what I should expect in I guess I don't know what do you call it?
A ceremonial session.
Ceremonial session.
I typically like to call them ceremonial blood magic sessions.
Okay.
But that's
so
just
I book a ceremonial blood magic session with you next week. Talk to me start to finish what I should expect as a client of yours.
Okay, so you would come in. I'd start at 3.
Okay.
Just
is that because that's a
I
good
homeschool my daughter.
Oh, okay.
So that's just typically how
I didn't know that everything is. I was like thinking too much into it. I was like, yo, 3 o'clock. Like, what does that represent?
Like, no.
I was like, does that represent something?
She was like to have lunch and they come here, dude.
She's already reading me.
I swear, that's
she's already
so
reading
funny.
me like, yo, this guy's got to come at 3.
3 is a very significant number.
Okay.
But no, it's because my daughter would get out of school and I would come here directly afterwards.
Okay.
So I like to be there for her and give her as much, of my day as humanly possible. So I get here, I set up the space for you. So I make sure that the space is cleansed. I clap in all 4 corners and I smudge the space, kind of welcome in spirit, set up the room for the Reiki healing. The Reiki healing is basically going on the entire time that you're sitting there. So you come in, you sit with me, we kind of talk a little bit. I ask you 3 questions. So I ask my client, I would ask you in this case, do you consent to the energy that's going to be flowing in this room today?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So then I would say, do you consent to me placing hands on you during the Reiki session if need be? Because body autonomy is very important. And then I would ask, do you have an intention that you would like to set for the session? In my opinion, I think that it is better if you come without an expectation, just because the universe will be able to tell you exactly what you need to know and kind of connect with your subconscious on a level where it's like, okay, you are right here. There is no expectation for this session. You're not going to kind of control where this session is going to go, because there has to be a level of surrender when you come see me. And that's very hard for people to let go of, is letting go of control. But that's the whole premise of the session.
Yeah.
So we get into it. I do a tarot reading first. It's based off of different bundles. So if you do a bundle 1, you get a 30-minute tarot reading. If you do a bundle 2, you get an hour tarot reading. And we go into it. I pull like a card spread, tell you all about what you need to know. But with tarot readings, like I said before, it is literally just connecting you to your subconscious and bringing you clarity. So it's what you need to know at this point in time. So you can set an intention with me, and that's where the session will be guided. But if you don't, it'll tell you exactly what you need to know instead of what you want to know, right?
Yeah.
So then,
no intention. I'd just be going in open-minded. I'd be like, yo, take me.
Universe, take me. Universe and Chloe, take me.
Tell me what I need to know.
I feel like that's honestly half the fun.
Yeah.
And especially going into it, and there's like a certain lore behind it. There's a certain like magical, a magical thing about allowing yourself to kind of just be open to the experience,
Yeah.
And
I feel like some people need drugs to do that.
Right.
So doing it in a sober way, I think is almost scarier. Because
Exactly.
You're choosing to step into that space.
Yeah.
And I tell people to come to me completely sober. No drinking, no mushrooms, no sitting with any kind of plant medicine at all. I'm like, you're going to be feeling certain sensations that are going to be very similar, but I want you to be able to connect with yourself. That's what this is. Obviously you can connect with yourself through plant medicine. I think that that's absolutely beautiful if it's done the right way with the right people and the right surroundings. But with this, I want you to connect with yourself completely sober. So right directly afterward, I set you up on my table, get you all positioned. There's blankets, there's pillows, comfort to the max, because obviously you're going to take a little bit of a deep dive, right? So I start with the chakra balancing, which is me placing crystals on each point of your meridian system, so each chakra. And then I go over it with a pendulum, and I clear and I balance. So basically you're telling the pendulum as you're over each chakra, you're saying clear, and the pendulum will swing to the left and it'll clear. And then you say balance, and then it starts to swing to the right. Okay, so you'll see the body kind of start to twitch or move or release energy. Yeah, it's crazy. It's but it's so beautiful. It's
I don't think it's crazy at all. It's just fascinating.
It's so fascinating, and it doesn't happen with everybody. But for me, that's a majority of what I've seen. I feel like I've had more people have bigger reactions to the energy rather than people that have just kind of sat there, which. The energy is working regardless of if you are feeling it or not. You know what I mean? That's the whole entire premise of energy work. Some people might just be a lot more sensitive to it than others. But we do the chakra balancing, and then the chakra balancing is a part of the Reiki, so I just move directly right into the Reiki right afterward. I say my prayers. I go into it. I call in protection, and then we just move through the body, you know, and afterward, because during the Reiki session, I get the visuals of what I'm going to be tattooing on you for our session. You come out of it, I give you a moment, I either step out of the room or I sit with you until you kind of come to and let you have as much time as you need, because that's heavy for some people, you know?
Wait, are they in a state of like trance almost as you're getting tattooed, or what do you mean when they come out? Like,
so with Reiki energy healing, I feel like, how do I put this? I feel like it's kind of like a level of meditation, because your brain is going to be going through all different kinds of thoughts, right? While you're starting to kind of settle into the Reiki. And I tell people, I'm like, whatever comes up, allow it to come up, thank it, give it gratitude, and say, I don't need that right now, and clear it out, you know? And if you kind of lose your center, because I make you breathe before we go into it, I say, acknowledge the thought, acknowledge the feeling, and then center yourself with your breath. So you come back to yourself every single time, because you will stray from yourself in Reiki. It's kind of impossible not to, but it's like, it's just kind of finding your center again, just like you would in meditation, you know, because there's a lot of time people give up meditating before they've actually gotten to be able to meditate, right? Before they've gotten to that place of like calm and clarity. And so when you are in a Reiki session, you come out of it tired. So there are people that they'll come out of it and they'll feel like a weight's been lifted, or they feel like heavy, like they just went through the ringer, because Reiki is maintenance, you know, it's energetic maintenance. And I try to teach people, especially because like, it's not my, like, I want you to obviously come back to me, but I think that a big part of my purpose on this earth is to teach people how to clear themselves energetically, because most people kind of don't keep up with their spiritual hygiene. So that's when they come see me, when they're in like this level of energetic overload, right? So they'll like, think about it like when you go through something really stressful, or like a heavy amount of survival, right? Afterward, you're going to feel tired. Your body's going to need rest. That's typically
I'd be exhausted. I get wiped out after a tattoo. I couldn't even imagine. I go through all of this. I have all these realizations, then I get tattooed. Man, I might just fall asleep, sleep at the shop.
Yeah. I feel so bad too, because like, it's not over. I have to tattoo them after that.
Yeah.
Like, I actually have to
so you haven't even put needle to skin
yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So
this is okay.
Go ahead.
So I was gonna just so viewers could understand like time frame here.
Yeah.
So everything that you've talked about so far, what kind of time frame is this? Are we talking like an hour or two in right now?
Well, it depends
Yeah,
on the bundle. Right?
I would say you're maybe 2.5 hours in at this
2.5 hours in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe 2 hours to 2.5 hours, depending. Because, like, if you're in a bundle 2, because the bundle 2 is the bigger tattoo session, so you're going to get, like, an hour tarot reading, an hour Reiki, and then the chakra balancing with it. That is about 2.5 hours.
Got it.
Plus, I add, like, sound healing and all. It's a fucking experience. It's great. Yeah. But the bundle 1, it's, like, 30-minute tarot reading, 30-minute Reiki, plus the chakra balancing. So it's a little bit less because it's a lot smaller. My intuition is on point, so I don't need that much time to be able to pick up on exactly what they're going to need at that moment in time. It's for people that aren't necessarily ready to commit to a bigger piece.
Yeah.
Right?
Got it.
And so like the bundle ones would take probably roughly 4 hours to do all together, because I give myself like a good 2-hour window for the smaller tattoo. It's about 3 to 4 inches. And then the bundle 2s, I book out my whole day.
Got it.
Right. And then I have a bundle 3, but that's actually my witchcraft bundle. So that's for all of my witches and all of the people that are interested in a little bit more of a deeper ceremonial experience, where we're creating a
can you break that
I was gonna say I want to hear about the witches.
I don't know what this
So it is the same. Obviously you're going to get the Reiki, the chakra balancing, and the tarot reading, but on top of this we're going to dress a candle, a ritual candle for you, and set your intention with the candle for the whole entire session. We are going to create a custom sigil that is going to be put into your tattoo, and we are going to ignite it right then and there.
What's
a sigil.
Yeah,
sorry. Okay. No. So a sigil is a symbol that you create, right? So easiest way to break it down for you is, say you want to embody something, like you want to embody protection. Say like, I am divinely protected and guided, right? You would write that down. Okay. And then you would take out all of the vowels and all of the repeated letters, and you would kind of create a symbol based off of the leftover letters in the sentence. And then you can put it in water, you can ignite it in fire, there's so many different ways to ignite a sigil, but for me, I like to burn it. Just to kind of release it to the universe and let it go and let the universe do what it needs to do. But, and every witch is different. So however you do it, that's up to you. But, that symbol, you kind of create it and you can get creative with it, whether you want to, put it on a grid where you line up all the letters and draw like different loop-to-loops and whatever, however you choose to make it, however you feel it intuitively. Or put the letters together to create a symbol. And that symbol bonds you to that sentence, to that affirmation, to that spell, I guess you should say.
Fascinating, yeah.
So that's what goes into it. And then there's a ton of spiritual consultation that goes into a bundle 3. And a lot of also consultation on witchcraft, because a lot of people will come to me and they'll want to learn. They'll want to dive deeper into it. And I get a lot of people, especially a lot of people from religious backgrounds that are trying to kind of separate themselves from the fear that the church has taught. Yeah. So they are wanting to dive deeper into themselves, and I'm able to provide a safe space for that and for them. And that is what my bundle 3s are for. Gotcha. It's to connect with.
And I assume that's like a full 8-hour day.
Yeah. Okay. That one is also a full day experience. I tell you to bring a pillow. I tell you to bring snacks. I tell you to make sure that you have Uber Eats or DoorDash on deck, like ready to go. And to bring a journal. You can record part of the session if need be. You know, it's very much, I always say, like, nobody leaves my room without crying. It doesn't matter, man or woman. Wow. It is such a deep session where and plus I always say, like, if you're coming to see me, it means that we've known each other in a past life. Our souls have been connected in some way because our souls are vibrationally aligned. You sought me out, you found me, but that's because your soul recognized my soul. Boom. So I'm being utilized in this life to be able to help others with their journey. Just because of all of the shit that I've gone through, I'm capable of now teaching. Mm-hmm. So it's fucking awesome. To be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I have so many questions.
I have answers.
So the part where you talked about like the candle and like the witch bundle, right?
Yeah.
When hearing you explain it, it sounds like it's very healing and stuff like that. But like, what do you say to somebody? Like, I grew up really religious, right?
Yeah.
And like, that term witch is like not great.
No.
But I guess like, what do you say to that? Because on this side, it sounds like it's a very healing experience, and you can learn a lot, and not unblock, but just open yourself to the universe. Yeah. So I guess what's your like response to that, or like your thought on that? I guess.
Oh my gosh, I could talk about this forever. In all honesty, I respect other people's religions very heavily. I came from Christianity, very heavy Christianity. And just having that religious background and that fear attached to it, I'm able to relate to people that do have that fear and do have that kind of like, I don't know, that's a water like I don't want to like step into, or like something that I don't want to indulge in. Usually people will always fear what they don't understand. Oh my gosh, don't smite me. There's in Christianity, a lot of it, what they don't understand, it was taken from paganism. It was taken from a level of witchcraft, a form of witchcraft. A majority of their holidays. I think that there is, how do I put this? God is a deity. Jesus is a deity, right? Most people will only view them, right? Unless you're in Catholicism. But most people will only view them as like the true, the true like ideology and religion. With me, there are other gods, there are other deities. I think that God is a version of yourself, right? I think that we are all God. I see God in your eyes. I see God in your eyes. It's different. You are connected. Like how is it that we are so connected to nature? Like our fingertips, like if you look at them, they literally look like the ridges on a tree trunk. Like there's a nebula in space of like the eye nebula. Like there's so
we're
many
all like
things,
looking at our
right? Yeah, it's crazy. But your body is a part of nature. You are a part of God. We are all souls that have come down here to have a human experience. And some people do not awaken themselves to that human experience, or do not awaken themselves, I should say, to themselves. You know, there is safety in religion. And I think that is absolutely beautiful. If you feel safe in your religion, that is something that you feel safe in. For me, I did not find safety within Christianity, right? I felt suppressed because I always had these gifts that nobody else understood. Right. And I was shamed for it. And I was like, but I don't know. Like, I don't even know what's going on with myself. Like, and trying to have someone tell me or trying to have someone teach me was not there. So I had to do it on my own in secrecy, you know? And I think that when people come to me and they're like, oh, witchcraft is bad. And I'm like, well, in a Catholic church, right? You are using... like you are smudging the church. You have smoke that smudges the church and clears out any negative energy. You are blessed with holy water, right? These are all the same. They're all spells in a way. Like how I would bless myself with moon water, you bless yourself with holy water. You know, how I would bless myself with Florida water. It's the same. It's the same thing. How I would cleanse myself with smoke. You cleanse yourself with smoke. You eat the what is it? The flesh, like of Jesus Christ, you know, and then you drink of his blood, you know, that is to me a ritual, you know, where you practice or where you celebrate Christmas, I celebrate Yule. It's like, it's different. We have the same traditions. There's just, it's just looked.
It's labeled different.
It's labeled differently. Yeah. And we're like.
Looked at and labeled differently.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that another big thing is like, they teach you in religion, they're like, you have to fear these demons. Like, these demons are coming up, the devil, blah, 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 blah. I think that your meridian system is a representation of God and the devil raging inside of you. So, to me, you are God and you are the devil. I know that seems like really crazy to understand, but like, to me, I think that the devil is a social construct. I know this is very controversial, but they needed somebody to blame, right? So if you like take a look at the meanings of what demons truly are, like if you look in the Bible, you look in different representations of what demons actually are, it's your lower vibrational meridian system. It's how you indulge in alcohol. It's how you indulge in drugs. It's how you indulge in sex. It's how you indulge in anger. How you put forth fear. How you put forth worry. It's how you present yourself and how deep you go within your own darkness and your own shadows. And I think that a big thing, because with the church, something that I never really understood or kind of could, you know, take on for myself as a lesson was that, how do I put this? Oh my gosh, I'm trying to keep it so simple. It's like
just trying to dumb it down for us.
I know. I'm trying to keep it down for the viewers. I don't want to get you guys in trouble because you know.
You're good.
But I could not grasp that, like, you should seek no further than Jesus Christ. I think that if people were to actually read their Bibles and dive deeper, there's 18 years of Jesus's life that is missing. And Jesus was a prophet. And when he said, I am the way, I am the truth, I am the light, he was talking about not how we should follow him, but how we should be more like him, because he was an absolutely incredible person. He was deeply spiritual. He wouldn't have been able to exude and do all of the things that he did if he didn't dive deep within himself to be able to understand himself better, to understand others. And I think that's something that religion kind of keeps you from. They keep you in a level of fear. And it is not up to me to persuade anybody in this lifetime to not fear what I do or what I am, because they will fear what they don't understand. And I think that if they were to come to me and be like, witchcraft is bad, I get that a lot. Really? And comments on Instagram, comments on TikTok.
I was gonna,
it's wild. They'll be like, come to Jesus, and I was like, I already have. We've been buds. We're still buds. It's cool. Like, but it's just, I don't view religion as a safe place. I view, like, to me, God is everything and in everyone. Yeah. You know? And it's not some guy sitting up on a giant chair in heaven like with a staff. Yeah. I think that it's like it's in every single person you meet. Yeah. You know, there's lessons everywhere, and he's teaching them, and it's up to other people whether they want to indulge and learn those lessons themselves. You know, I think that's something else that's in these sessions is that you cannot awaken everybody, you cannot heal everybody, and that is something that is. It was definitely something that was hard to ingest at first, or digest, you know, at first. But you get to a point in spirituality where you understand that, like, you're not going to lead people to awaken themselves. They have to do it themselves. And usually it's something big happens, and then they go through this whole spiritual journey, and then and I have people that are on their journey that come to me and they're like, I'm going through this. And mind you, I'm still learning. I'm still growing myself. I've just been through a whole shit ton of hell in my life to be able to have this knowledge and wisdom. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if they're scared, if they're fearful of it, it's because they fear themselves. Yeah.
I was going to say there's probably some healing ceremonies that you have, I would assume, are easier than others.
Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Does the process ever stop at before needle to skin?
It has.
Or like they just either they're rejectful, or like, have you been like, this is almost too like far past how I can help you? Has that ever happened?
Well, I think fear is taught. So when it comes down to dealing with somebody that is going through something that is very dark, I don't fear that. I think that there are ways of dealing with darkness that most people don't understand, but you have to learn it. You have to be comfortable, one, with your own darkness. You have to be comfortable. And I'm a Scorpio, so, like, I'm comfortable with everybody's darkness. You can, like, I don't do fucking small talk. Like, I'm not going to talk to you about the weather. Like, I want to know why your dad went to prison. I want to know why you did, like, you know, like, random shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to dive a lot deeper into these things because that's just who I am. I'm comfortable with my own shadows. I want to make sure that you send love to yours. So I have had sessions with people where it has become like a purge, and they've gotten sick, and they haven't been able to go forward with it, which is crazy because they'll be doing the energy work and they'll get up and they'll be like, I need to throw up. And it's the same as if you would be in an ayahuasca ceremony. The energy just moves, you know? So it's definitely dependent on what you are going through and if you are able to take it. So I've only had one person ever refuse the tattoo, but I have had multiple people purge. And I think that that's beautiful. And, like, I'm sitting there like a mom, like, okay, let's get it out. Like, come on, it's fine. Yeah. But if they're feeling up to it, they get right back on the table. And if not, they go home and we reschedule.
The person that refused the tattoo, was that because they didn't like the tattoo, or because they just, like...
I think a little bit of both.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah. I mean, that's why it takes a level of surrender to come see me. And listen, your body autonomy is yours. If you refuse the tattoo, cool. I'm not going to make you pay for the tattoo. I'll make you pay for the Reiki and the chakra balancing, but that is up to you. And I think that one, I'm going to sit there and actually be proud of you if you were to tell me no, that you don't like it. And if we can change things around and you're open to it, that's fine. But if this one particular person was like, I don't feel like I'm ready to get the tattoo today. I did not connect, like she didn't connect with the tattoo, and that's perfectly fine. I was actually extremely proud that she was open and was honest with me. And that is going to be at the forefront every single time. You know, like I want you to speak up for yourself. That's one thing that I've advocated for in tattoo culture forever. Like, speak up. This is on your body forever, not mine. You know what I mean? So like, if you want to move it, you want to get rid of it, you don't want to do it, I don't fucking care. Like, I want you to be happy. My thing is, like, I would want, like, say if my daughter was going and getting tattooed, I would want their tattoo artist to, like, treat them as how I would want to treat my clients, you know? So it's definitely wild, but I would never try to push somebody into something that they wouldn't want to do, you know? And sometimes they can either be fearful of it, they don't connect with it the way that I would have hoped for, and that's, you know, it's not for me to decide. Yeah.
One thing I would love to get into, and we talked about a little bit of this before the podcast, you're first and foremost insanely knowledgeable about this, and it kind of blows my mind, the thought process and everything that comes in to doing this and creating this and all that you've had to learn to make this happen. But I would love to hear a little bit about, you know, your story up to, you know, where you are today. So obviously you had to this is not something you just learn overnight. Like, this has been an entire process. You mentioned at age 23, you kind of had this like spiritual, like, enlightenment, eye-opening, however you want to say it. Talk to us a little bit about, you know, your childhood, growing up, and I guess that what started to lead you, you know, in this direction.
Interesting. I am the product of a single mother. Okay. She's brilliant. My mom is an absolutely incredibly strong individual. She's been through a lot in her life. But my dad was a singer, songwriter, producer. He traveled the world he was gone throughout my whole entire life. But my mom did it all by herself. And
were your mom and dad married or?
No.
Okay.
They never got married. My dad actually cheated on her it was just a horrible experience between the two of them. My dad, hear me out. My dad wanted to be a really good guy. He was very heavily into spirituality, just like I am, but he refused to do the shadow work, right? He refused to do the inner work and to see that level of darkness that was lying underneath or take accountability. Nothing on him. It was just a part of himself that he couldn't face, and that's not his fault, you know? Like, you have to view everybody as if they're like a little kid, you know? So it's like, you're looking at, like, say, like, if you did something wrong, I'd look at you like a 6-year-old and be like, where did that come from? You know what I mean? Because that's where it all stems from. So it stemmed from his childhood that he was emotionally unavailable.
Got it.
So that showed throughout my entire life. There was like a very heavy battle. Daddy issues to the fucking max.
Hey, at least you know that. There's some of these women out here. I'm like,
oh Lord, no, don't I know it? I think that actually that is a big part of the fucking mask that I wore for a very long time. You know, I claimed it, you know, and I feel like you got to. I feel like every fucking woman has daddy issues, especially with the way that men were not necessarily taught how to father up until our generation. You know what I mean? Like, there are really good fathers, but they didn't have any of the tools or any of the books or any of the knowledge that we do now as individuals to be able to cater to our children to like break these generational cycles, curses, whatever it may be, right? So daddy issues to the max, for sure. Did not have a good solid relationship with my father, and that showed up so much in my life, where that was something that I very heavily had to overcome. Still dealing with it till this day.
Yeah.
You know, there are little things, but it's a lot easier to work through now.
Yep.
Especially taking accountability for it and noticing the patterns and the cycles, and especially trying to, like, coming from that stock, and trying to change that narrative. You know what I mean? Especially with my own child. Like, just not repeating the same patterns that he did. And I already did. Well, also, like, my dad just, there wasn't a lot of good family dynamics that I was personally aware of. You know, there were a lot of things that went on in his childhood that just showed him how he needed to be.
Yeah.
Not any, and no like shade on my family or whatever, because they're all incredible human beings. But obviously, we all go through struggles. We all go through strength.
Yeah.
And you know, he grew up like a young black man in Chicago, and it just was not. It was not how he needed to grow up. He got thrust into the music industry at a very young age and was performing, was signed to like Quincy Jones's label, I think at age 14, from what I've heard, you know, like, wow. I don't really know. I feel like I learned more about my dad after he died at age 23.
I was about to ask if you're in communication with your father, but wow.
I'm a part of the Dead Dad Club. Very, very, very. It is a very. It's an elite club. You know, it's funny. Me and my assistant, we joke about that all the time because both of our dads are dead. So it's literally it's Dead Dad Club. Yeah. But he passed when I was 23. I hadn't spoken to him for about 3 months, and he was sick. So he got sick. I heard that he got sick at around age 19. He came down with congestive heart failure. The congestive heart failure took over his whole body, where it, like, he started having like narcoleptic fits where he would fall asleep while he was sitting up, couldn't sleep properly. Wow. All of these different things. And my dad, like how I talk about how emotions are stored in the body. Let me tell you how watching my dad's decline showed me his stuck emotions in his body, how it affected his health. Because that's what it does. Wow. So, like, say, like, you don't allow yourself to speak from the heart. You don't allow yourself to share your feelings. You suppress it. And that's, like, a big thing that, like, I try to teach, especially with like my male friends. I'm always like, please share, please open up, please talk, please communicate.
Get that off your chest.
Yes, because it's so important.
Many men actually won't.
What does it? What does it manifest itself into?
Heart problems, heart attack, congestive heart failure.
Stress, anxiety, like that stuff.
Blood clots, stress. Yeah, it's literally very heavy. Strokes. Especially because it's like all suppressed. It's like with a lot of women, especially too. Like if trauma is held in your hips. Okay, so if you go through a lot of that's why you have to stretch your hips out. You have to. It's like a level of somatic healing that you need to put yourself in, where you are doing heart openers. Like solar plexus openers, sacral opener, you know what I mean? There's different terms for it. I'm blanking on it right now, but to open your hips is to open trauma. So like allowing yourself to sit in hip openers, like you can lay on the floor, put your feet together and like open your knees. You put like your left hand over your heart, your right hand over your solar plexus, and you kind of just breathe into that space. You'll watch your knees start to twitch. And that's energy leaving your body. It's the same thing that happens in Reiki, but that's trauma that's stored in your body. That's why they tell you to journal. That's why they tell you to like stretch your hips. It's all in your hips. So if your hips are cracking and you're waking up, it's because there are things that haven't been dealt with, right? So my dad had a ton of trauma, which, man, I was so angry with him, infuriated angry with him until after he died, because I started getting to know him and I started getting to know what he went through, and then I became adult, you know, like I don't, to me, I wasn't an adult until my frontal lobe fully developed. Like I hit 25 and then I was like, oh, okay, I fucking get it now. Like, you know, wow. And as soon as I hit that age and I was going through all of these spiritual awakenings and all of these different things, I didn't understand what he went through and how he felt and all of the things that he went through to be as emotionally unavailable as he was, or as avoidant as he was. And I think that sparked something in me. It sparked my own level of healing. And I mean, like, I definitely was interested in it. I've always been interested in the occult, like Charmed. I was like watching it in my bedroom as a kid with like the blanket over my head and the remote in my hand, ready to turn it off if my mom walked in, because that was like a big no-no. Like I wasn't even allowed to read fucking Harry Potter. And I would like watch it at my friend's house. Like my dad was very heavily into spirituality, and my mom was very heavily Christian, and that was a big thing that they clashed over. My dad was super into witchcraft, into tarot, into like,
gotcha.
You know, was in China and in Japan, and he came back and he's like, I'm a Buddhist. And I'm like, no, you're fucking not. Like, you're just really into the culture, and it strikes something in you, right? Who knows if he lived a past life or whatever, but like he just was trying to find himself his whole life. And in trying to find yourself, there's a balance in it, right? So you have a level of spiritual awakening that you get into, and the spiritual awakening hits you, and everything seems exciting, okay? So you are into crystals suddenly. You're into like learning more and expanding your wisdom and knowledge and your subconscious mind, and you want to learn about all of this different shit, and you want to be able to talk about it and connect with people, and like there's so much that happens when you go through your first spiritual awakening. Everything is so exciting, right? And then it becomes stagnant. Like just completely like stops. You hit a brick wall, right? And it's because you've been existing in love and light throughout this. You're like, oh my gosh, like I have to be so positive. Everything has to be good. I'm manifesting. This is beautiful. This is that. But what a lot of people don't understand when they go through their first level of spiritual awakening is the fact that they're going to hit a level of stagnation that's going to stop them right in their tracks, and it's not going to feel fun anymore.
Yeah. Everything's
going to feel really hard. And it's going to feel really painful, and you're going to start going deeper and darker. Like you literally, the second that you hit stagnation, it's because the universe is like, okay, time to go a little bit deeper. Time to start existing in this level of like love and light. Guess what? You fucking burned out because you lit that candle for too fucking long. And it's an extremely intense feeling, because like spiritual awakenings, they're exciting. You're like, I'm going to go do ayahuasca in the fucking rainforest, and I'm going to come back and everything's going to be fine, and I'm going to move through so much and purge through so much, which like, that's great and all, but sometimes it's not, and it can be very heavy if you're not ready to deal with it. And I don't think my dad was ready to deal with it, and that got passed on to me. You know? So I have, I 100%, what your parents didn't heal, you take on. So it's like, and your parents are an exact mirror of who you are, right? Yeah. So like what you don't like in them, it's what you don't like in yourself. So they trigger you to recognize it. I know it's fucked up. It's it's literally one of like
fucking connecting the dots and shit. I'm like,
yeah. It's very difficult, because you sit back and you see these people, especially when you become an adult, you see these people that you've idolized or like longed for their love for so long. And then you get older and you go through the same adult struggles and the same adult problems. And you recognize and realize that they're just humans trying to do it for their first time too. They're trying to deal like with life for their first time around in this body, you know, and they're trying to get it right and trying to go through everything the best that they can. And it's not necessarily an excuse, because there are people that do really fucked up shit. So like, obviously, like, they're the exception. But for people that are like, especially with like my own father, because he was extremely well known in the music industry, like produced the first Grandmaster Flash album, like produced Shaka Khan and Rufus, worked with Mariah Carey, like all these different people, and was extremely successful. But I think that there was a level of ego that he could not let go of. And so that level of healing transcended down to me. Yeah. So what he couldn't heal because he was stuck in a level of love and light, I had to take over, right? So he died when I was 23 years old. Mind you, I had just moved to the Pacific Northwest. It was a very interesting time in my life. I want to say almost 3 years into tattooing. Oh my gosh. I think maybe. Jeez. I can't do the math. That's why I'm an artist. But I put 5 different names of 5 different places into a hat, and I picked one. And I definitely, at that point in time, is what I would call now like a runner, right? But I don't look at like that term runner as something that's bad, because I was definitely running from experiences that didn't vibrationally align with my energy, and I just felt like I needed to get out of them. But I never was taught to sit and deal. You know, like I was never like, if something happened when I was younger, me and my mom would like up and move to a new place. It was always something new. It was always a new opportunity. Yeah. So it was like never actually sitting and having to just fix.
Yeah.
You know, there was stability, but there wasn't like the traditional like American dream stability. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I went to so many different schools. There was so much turmoil. There was just a lot of different facets that were moving all the time.
And just like how you said, test.
Okay. All right. Quick intermission, but real question: are we getting pizza or not?
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, sorry guys. So we had to focus on priorities.
We had to get the pizza order ready.
Yeah.
AKA Little Caesars.
All right.
Little Caesars cut the check.
One day they're going to sponsor
sponsorship.
Sponsor me.
This episode is brought to you by
Little Caesars.
Little Caesars.
$5
the little cups.
Hot and ready. Is that wait? No, that's not a thing anymore, huh? The $5 hot and ready.
Unfortunately not.
No way.
I know. Inflation it was a sad day. It was pretty quick after they stopped doing the $5 footlongs at Subway.
Yeah, there was some.
They stopped doing the $5 footlong. I mean, I haven't eaten a $5 footlong from Subway in a very long time, but like, I didn't think that would ever go away.
It was news to me too. It was a sad day for all of us.
That's sad. So that's kind of a sad day. I'm very big on that. Like if I DoorDash food, like I will DoorDash food for my client. Like I'm not gonna sit there and like eat in front of them.
Be like, yo, you got food?
Yeah. I was like, we're gonna get some rolled tacos. You want some taquitos? Like here you go. Like shows well. You know what I mean? But absolutely.
I get like so hungry when I'm getting tattooed as well. Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Oh, it's your adrenaline and your endorphins and your body kind of working on overtime. So like
I'm just like
see, I'm the opposite. I'm completely drained.
Really?
Yeah. Like because like
you eat beforehand though?
Usually because I have I don't want to say a fear. Like I don't want to be that guy that passes out. But like that day, I was ripping Zins and like I had a coffee. I can never come back in here again.
I've had so many men in particular pass out on me. Oh yeah, I think that like the ratio from men to women passing out, like the men have definitely kind of surpassed the women on that.
You know what my biggest scare is getting tattooed and falling asleep, and like sometimes I do like the jerk thing.
The jolts, yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm nervous of is Mark's gonna be like, doing some real detailed shit, and then he just.
I think that a lot of us are trained to do that. Like, I feel like it's so interesting when tattoo artists, like, no shade to any tattoo artist, but like if a tattoo artist gets upset about twitching, that trips me out because I'm like, that's literally a body's natural reaction. Yeah. If you came in and you got tattooed by me and you fell asleep, I'd be like, Evan, what are we going through? What's going on? Do we need to talk about it? Like I would probably be like psychoanalyzing it, but it would also I would be able to kind of prepare for those movements to happen because like inevitably I would hope that you fell asleep. I would hope that it like felt like you could just kind of relax and do that, it's not the case for everybody, but I have a lot of girls that come in and they're just like, just done, and like my husband, he does not feel pain. He'll fall asleep himself, but he'll do the twitch. If you twitch, that's just
a big twitcher.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody is in a way. I don't know, but I feel like your tattoo artist should be kind of like prepared for that, especially if you're falling asleep. Unless they're not paying attention to you. Like if you guys have just fallen into a vibe and like you fell asleep and like Mark wouldn't know that you fell asleep and you just switched and you moved, like that's a different story.
Yeah.
You know? But like I feel like it's your job to like kind of check in and be like, you doing okay? If you don't respond, my first instinct is gonna be like, did they fucking pass out?
Yeah.
Or like I'll like put my hand underneath your nose, be like, are you fucking breathing? Like what's going on, you know?
Dude, when I was getting tattooed by Mark, there was a guy that was getting tattooed by that guy. I forget his name.
Jared.
Yeah.
He left and he came back and he got tattooed by Brandon. And he just kind of got up on the bed and he like his head was towards me. Like we were both like facing this way.
Yeah.
And Brandon was talking to him. He's like, all right, bro, we're gonna get started. And he didn't say anything. But like I saw he was asleep.
Yeah.
Well, and then like Brandon was like kind of like hit his back, like, hey dude. And then he didn't move and I was like, oh shit. He got up and kind of shook him and he was like, my bad, bro, I was already asleep. And he's like, no, I just but it was like I saw the panic on him. I was like, dude, that's terrifying.
It's honestly terrifying because you don't want anybody to go through that level of trauma when they're getting tattooed. But it's like if you don't eat a balanced meal, you don't bring snacks, you don't bring electrolytes. Like I have like those what are those electrolyte drinks? Oh my gosh.
Propel packets?
It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
But
Prime.
no, Prime is so sorry. Prime is so bad for you. Sorry.
They taste delicious.
They probably taste great, but no.
Wait, what else is bad? Oh, we'll get
my
that.
gosh, so much. I could I'm such a crunchy mom. Like I know that I like it's just Capricorn outside, but I'm definitely like I could talk to you about chemtrails. I could talk to you about food. I could talk to you about all natural remedies. Like instead of medicine, I can give you tinctures.
Ooh, that's
I can
actually
make you teas. Like all of the above.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. Yeah.
That's actually maybe a good topic here. So, you know, you're obviously all about all these different aspects of healing. I assume you're pretty like conscious of like what you eat and consume and like what you like put into your body as well.
All organic.
Gotcha.
Unless it's a Little Caesars.
I was just going to say,
Little C's.
Everything's okay in moderation.
Yeah.
I think suppression is one of the worst things that you could do to yourself. Like, obviously you want to eat healthy, but if that 1% is there where you're kind of like, I'm going to eat like shit today, I think that you should give your body what it's wanting. Even though there are certain cravings that pertain to other things, I think that you should allow yourself to indulge every now and again.
That's actually my favorite thing about eating healthy is when after you start eating healthy for such a long time, although you still have cravings, you break every once in a while, have that pizza, have that like shitty food. Yeah. But then you have such like, I call it like food remorse.
Yeah.
Where it's like after you eat it, you're like,
I don't even like this.
Like, God damn it. Like, it tasted good for like 30 seconds, but now I gotta like shit my pants.
Oh, right. It's literally that instant gratification where you're like, damn, this tastes so good. And then later like, you're suffering. No. That's awful.
Food is such instant gratification if you really think about it. Yeah. Like half the shit that we eat and we consume is like, how many high chews did we just consume?
Oh my gosh. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's, I think that it's like sugar, especially with like what we were talking about with like energy and stuff like that, where emotions are stored in the body. Yeah. So like if you're with your solar plexus and like with your heart, there are ways where you're like, if your meridian system is unbalanced, it will show up in the cravings that you have and your relationships with food. So it's really wild how, and especially with each chakra point, how that will show up for you and what you're craving and what you're needing, right? So like if you're having trouble with your throat chakra, like if you're having trouble like communicating or talking, or like you're suppressing what you're needing to open up about, you're going to want to drink a lot of really ice cold beverages to kind of like chill that heat that's coming up, right? It's so weird. Like you'll be like, oh, I want an icy, I want like ice cream, I want like an iced coffee. You'll just try to like that. I feel like that's that was me for a very long time. Like I was definitely like, I'm not that girl that's going to be like, oh, I want food or I want a sweet treat. I'm like, I want myself a little drinky drink. Like it's, you know what I mean? Like I want like a Slurpee. That was my pregnancy craving. Like that was, I wanted a Coke Slurpee. It was just one because no caffeine, but like, I became more conscious of the food that I put into my body after I became a mother. Also because I struggled with the fear with like my husband. Like, poor guy, I regulate what he eats. If I find out something has been like banned or something, like it's out of the house.
Yeah.
And like this poor guy has to struggle through so much just because I'm like, you can't fucking eat that anymore. And he's just like over here in the corner, like, like you know, like
all
eating it by my back.
All like the red dye stuff that's going on right now.
Yeah. Well, he's allergic. My husband's allergic to red dye.
Oh.
But everybody is allergic to red dye. Every single person on the planet, you are allergic to dyes. It is not something that should be put into your body. That is something that I could talk about forever, especially where the dyes come from. Like what, red? It comes from a fucking beetle? Yeah. Like carmine?
That's crazy.
So gross. Like a crushed up like that's what you're ingesting. Like you're drinking like some fruit punch. Like,
but those hot Cheetos are so good.
Okay, the Trader Joe's has a much better version. Sorry, hot Cheetos. A much better version. That's made with turmeric and chili lime powder.
Yeah.
It tastes the exact same. It's got a little bit more of like a lime zest to it, but it is so good.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that than the alternative, you know? Plus I don't know. So me and my best friends, we do this thing because like I'm not big on sleepovers with my daughter, with her friends and stuff like that. So like me and my friends, because she's been raised around adults her whole entire life, we have big slumber parties together where we get wigs, we set up for like a party. There's disco balls, there's lights, whatever it is. So she can kind of experience that, and like we watch like all of the great movies or whatever, but we load up on really shitty snacks for the night. Like that's like my indulgence when all of the girls get together, right? So we'll do like cheese boards, but like we'll do like the sweet board and the cheese board, and then we'll get like Doritos and all these different things. And this last time that we got them, I got like the extra flaming hot Cheetos and I didn't realize that they were extra. And like, mind you, like I can take spicy foods and I ate it.
They're different.
Yeah.
They're different.
Yeah.
Like, what are they doing? What is in that? That's like a chemical burn. Like that fucked me up.
Yeah.
It's like, what is this?
Yes. And I think that's the big question. Like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, what is actually in the foods that we're eating and ingesting?
Yeah.
And like, how does it tear up our system? Mind you, another thing, especially with energetic healing, I pray over my food before I eat it. I do like a little quick Reiki over my food because you don't know who's preparing it.
Yeah.
Right? So you don't know what energy is being made or put into that food. And like that food is being made with, right? So say like a cook is having like a really fucked up day and they're cooking and they're putting their heart into it, but they're putting their anger into it as they're cooking. All of that energy is going into your food. So then you are then ingesting that energy that they put into that food. And that's another big reason why you feel like shit after you eat something that's unhealthy.
Yeah.
Or why you eat something, why you like you feel that way after you eat something.
Because those pissed off workers.
Dude, sorry. That's like, but it's true. It's like, I mean, we're all going through things, you know, but you want to make sure that like you do a little quick blessing over food. That's another symbol of prayer. That's why you pray over your food and you're like, let it be a nourishment to our bodies. Yeah. We have gratitude for this food, and then you're praying over it. It's the same as you energetically cleansing it before you eat it, because that shit it's wild. Like, what do you don't know where it's coming from, you don't know what it's made with, you don't know, like, especially I could talk about seed oils all day. You got me started on a topic that I will not shut up about. I'm so sorry. That is something that like plagues me. Like, I swear it's wild, like how breads are made, how they're dyed. Like I am a big person. I shop at Whole Foods, I shop at Trader Joe's. I think that if you want to eat healthy, you should budget to eat healthy. You know, obviously
it is scary how expensive healthy food is.
Yeah.
And that's why America's fat.
especially for a family. I think that it's not even the fact that it's why like America's fat, I think it's because one, we're not properly taught. Like, so men and women, okay, they're both on different cycles. Men, you guys are on a 24-hour cycle, right? Your body regenerates itself every 24 hours. Women are on a 4-week cycle. Did you guys know that?
No.
Okay, we have 4 different cycles. I'm going to give you some fucking knowledge real quick, especially because you both have women. So, like, this is going to help you, okay?
Appreciate it.
They are on a 4-week.
We need all the help we can get.
Jot it down, right? 4-week cycle. You are on your. You have your menstrual phase, obviously, like your period. Yep. Okay, we're all grown adults.
Shark Week.
The Shark Week, exactly.
Scary
right?
times.
No, the scariest time is the luteal phase. It's right before Shark Week, and so women get extremely pissed off at their men in their luteal phase. My poor husband, again, get extremely pissed off at their women or at their men in luteal phase because you didn't get them pregnant. So their body is like rejecting you. They're angry. Like their brain goes, you didn't do what you were supposed to do. I'm now upset with you. It's so fucked up. It's very real. So
that's why you got cut off.
But on their period, it's crazy because we're depleted and we're taking in a lot of different energy, and like it's because women are just energetic sponges. So like on a period, obviously why we're more irritable and stuff like that is because it's not just that we are taking on our own shit and our own pain and our own what we're dealing. We bleed for 7 days and don't die. Like that's fucking stupid in my opinion, you know? Yep. But in reality, like we're taking on everybody's energy, right? So you have your luteal phase, which we're angry at you. That's the phase that you need to be the most scared of. I would say like mark that shit on your calendar, get a period tracker, make sure that you figure that out because that's when you need to be the nicest. The period, and then you have the follicular phase, and then you have ovulation. So we have 4 weeks out of the month. 3 of them, which we are fucking psychotic. We get 1 break, right? We get 1 time where we're feeling our best, doing our best. We can hit the gym the hardest. We're at our most creative, at our most like just our networking phase where we can talk to people, whatever it is, right? So we have 4 specific phases, and it goes with the moon. Crazy. But our body, we should be taught how to attune what we eat to our phases of every week. So like you would eat differently for your follicular phase than you would your luteal phase. You would eat differently for your menstrual phase than you would for your ovulation phase. And women are not taught that because most medical studies are all just done on men, you know? Yeah.
So I got something that just popped in my head.
Go for it.
So we've talked a lot about, the different, I guess, witchcraft.
Yes.
Reiki healing.
Yeah.
All these different, practices, that you do. Is there an alignment with those with astrology signs? Because I know like that's a whole nother topic. Like I've met a lot of people that are like crazy about like signs and understanding, your earth sign, your water sign, and I'll be honest, I've actually got into it a little bit, like, learning, learning more, not into it, but when I read my sign and sometimes look into this stuff, I'm like, oh, like that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's like, I guess I am kind of like that. So I do understand it. Oh, shut the fuck up. This guy's like laughing his ass off. I wouldn't say I'm getting in. Okay, let me just
I'm not laughing at you.
like I'm just, I guess I think for the first time it kind of clicked for me.
Yeah.
Like when I'm told like, oh, so I'm a Taurus. Okay. So I'm fucking bull. I'm like, there's like this whole stubborn. this whole like, stubborn side of me. What's so funny, bro?
Nothing, but I'm this guy's making me laugh.
Oh.
Great.
It's making me laugh.
Okay. So
right,
anyway,
Taurus,
I guess to like let me get back to it here. So based on your line of work and everything that you do, mixed in with the astrology stuff, like what is the correlation between that? Like, is there a correlation or is that a whole separate?
Oh no. Honestly, Well, astrology plays a huge role in everything. Billionaires have astrologers for a specific reason. Like, you know what I mean? The universe and the planets are going to affect everybody differently. So there are different planetary alignments. Like, there's so many going on right now. You know, Saturn just entered Aries. A lot of people are starting their Saturn return, especially if you're in the ages of 27 to 30. So if there are people that are coming to see me in that specific time frame, you know, like in between those ages, they're going through a lot. They're shedding things. Karma is like, daddy karma is coming in and being like, you know, I'm going to shit on your whole entire life right now until you learn that you have to grow up. 27 to 30 is a very hard age, you know. I feel like I see a lot of people in that time frame. But astrology plays a huge role. All of the transits play a huge role in what is going on in people's lives. You know, I think that astrology can tell you how to invest money, when to invest money. It can tell you when you are going to be angry, you know, when you are going to be like how your emotions are going to deal with things, how you should approach certain people, how you should practice patience. Like, there are different transits that are going on right now where I literally am like, I should lock myself in a room, you know, like it's like when people joke about like Mercury in retrograde, you know, like obviously you'll probably hear like your women be like, oh yeah, Mercury's in retrograde in the microwave, you know, and it's fucking, it's real. Like it starts to spin backwards and communication is off, travel is off, like money is off, things in your career are off. Like it's crazy how like these transits and these planets spinning forward and backward affect you, you know? So yes, astrology does play a huge role in how people come in and like what they're feeling at that moment in time, what they're going through, what they're learning, how they're trying to figure themselves out and how they're trying to grow. It does play a lot, especially with your cycle, the 4-week cycle as well for women. That is something that's really incredible to think about. Because obviously like the moon, the women, like the cycles are, you know, you guys are with the sun. That's why it's the masculine and the feminine side. We're ruled by the moon. You guys are ruled by the sun. It's really fucking cool because the sun is a 24-hour period. The moon is a 4-week cycle, a 28-day cycle, you know? So it's just everything is ruled by the planets. Everything.
I have another question, and it's a little off topic, but I'm like, you got my head thinking here. Yeah. So, that's awesome. You know, in your line of work, just having, you know, this mindset, this thought process, your way of being able to connect with people, read people, how would you say that transfers into like your relationship or like being a mother? I think it's really interesting when you have a way of just like looking at life and being able to read, I guess, people. That's got to make an interesting dynamic for like even just like your household. And obviously your husband just came here, so he's probably going to hear this. Yeah, it's got to be interesting. Like, do you feel like your relationship is a lot different with your like level of knowledge that you have today as it would be if it was 10 years ago, with you just maybe being not far along in this journey you're in?
You know what? Yes and no. Okay. So I think that especially when it comes down to my relationship, Wade, okay, so back to astrology, right? So Wade, I'm going to go through his whole birth chart real quick. Okay. He is a Gemini, okay, and I'm a Scorpio. Okay. Immediately, obviously, we're besties, but we also clash, right? Yep. So with a Gemini and a Scorpio, there has to be a lot of communication. There has to be a lot of talking things through and recognizing certain patterns and changing them and being very adult about how you speak to each other. We work on that a lot. We work on our communication very heavily. And especially as a Gemini, the gift of fucking gab, both of us, we can talk all day, right? And as somebody who wants to get deeper and like into somebody's shadows, that sometimes isn't very healthy for a man. And that's something that I had to understand and talk about. That's another thing, like, because being an intuitive, being somebody that is more intuitively inclined to be able to read somebody's energy.
Yeah.
Like I used to, especially with my own patterns, recognize things. And listen, empathy, like, or being an empath, right? I know I'm clairsentient. I think that empath is great, but empath is like very small on the scale, right? I don't want to say that. It's not very small on the scale, but it's definitely like a starting point to opening yourself up to understanding and reading people's energy and feeling people's energy to like at a physical level, right? So being clairsentient, which is a fucking massive level of empathy, I'd be able to walk into a room or feel my husband's energy before he got home. Like I could feel it if he's driving up the street. I like will get like hairs will stand up on the back of my neck, and it'll be like, okay, like something's wrong. Like I have to. I'm bracing myself for him coming home and feeling this way. Mind you, years ago, especially in the beginning of our relationship, I think this ended maybe about 3 years ago. There's still moments where I have to like pull back. But obviously we're all learning. It's like the more that you ask a man what's wrong, it's not always good for them.
Yep.
Okay. So like we want you to talk, like as women, we're nurturers. We want you to open up. We want you to communicate with us. But a lot of men weren't taught the proper way to communicate, right? And that's awful. Yep. It's really fucking sad, you know? And like all you can do, especially for your men, is to find a way to hold space for them on a level of meeting them where they are. So it has been talked about scientifically that men actually have a hard time, and it creates higher stress levels if they communicate their feelings. So like if they're actually like actively talking about their feelings before they're ready, or they're feeling pressured, like their woman is like, what's wrong? I can sense something's wrong. Like what's going on? Please tell me. And then it like, they feel like kind of pressed up against the wall.
Yep.
It creates stress.
A man's going to talk when he wants to.
Yes. I would rather like be like, hey, go out to the garage, go work on something, go draw, go to the gym, go do this. But like, and come talk to me when you're ready.
Yep.
Come talk to me when you're ready. Because I think that leaving that space open for them is, especially for your man, is like so important, because they're going to come talk to you and open up to you when they are ready.
Yeah.
But if you push them, it actually raises their cortisol. So like that's something that's super wild as well. You know, it raises your stress levels because you guys are more physical, where we're able to talk. Like we're the matriarchs. We like from the beginning of time, we built community. We fucking became the nurses. We became the like we birthed babies. We learned how to talk to different communities. Men went out and they hunted and they protected. They weren't taught how to communicate. Like it's something that has dated back to the beginning of fucking time.
When I think communication, it's got to be such a generational thing.
Yes.
Like especially with like social media today, there's like just, you know, you go online, there's so many clips and motivational, like telling people how to act and do shit today. Like that's, I feel, all what social media is now.
Yeah.
It's but I think it's definitely a generational thing. Like I look at, you know, my grandparents and how different relationships were. Yeah. Like I was very close with my great grandma.
Yeah.
I never got to know my great grandpa, but like my great grandma, just like seeing how she was, and even like my grandparents, how different their dynamic and relationship. And I grew up in a broken household, and my, you know, mom and dad, shit was a little crazy. Yeah. But then I look at like relationships today, and relationships today are so much different. Like now it's really heavily promoted that like, it's like, yo, like you have issues, like you should talk about it. You should like communicate. Yeah. And it's you know, important. Where I grew up, it was very old fashioned, where like people never really got divorced. People never went separate ways. Like people just were very old school with it.
Yeah, they didn't talk.
It's like nobody talked. They didn't. They didn't talk. They didn't communicate.
The men were harsh,
and they, you know,
the women were quiet.
Like I used to use the word with my grandpa was he was like ornery. Yeah. Like, he's just an ornery old man. Like I'm like, God, bro, like who's shitting your Cheerios? Like, why are you so pissed off? Like,
suppression.
You know?
Yeah. Tell me every time he stood up if his hips cracked.
Well, and I think it goes back to before our high chew break, and our camera guy messed up. We had to take a break here. We were talking about we were talking about your dad, and just some of the stuff that he was dealing with that got carried on to you. I think it's such an interesting dynamic, because what we truly go through in life, like, is who we become, and some of the stuff your dad was dealing with obviously rubbed off on you, and then as he passed, and the emotions that you were attached to with that he wasn't dealing with, and how it affected your upbringing.
I 100% have changed the way that I view relationships, especially because my parents weren't together. So I never had an actual true representation of what a healthy relationship looks like. Okay. Yep. And that's not on my mom. That's not on my dad. That's just like, I watched my friends' parents like have healthy relationships. And then as I became an adult, their relationships weren't even that fucking healthy. And so I think that obviously you have all of the tools and the knowledge now to be able to kind of adapt and learn each other and whatnot. But like that's also something that I implement, is like all of the lessons that I learned from what my parents went through, like trying to kind of reshape those things and do better, be better, and wanting to commit. Marriage is hard. Yep. Marriage is so hard. And I think that is something that a lot of people give up on because they don't want to do the work. Yep. And like, I get it. There are people that like, they fight constantly, especially if you have children, like you can fight in front of your children. But the thing is, it's like back in the day, parents used to hide shit from us, or they didn't. They fought right in front of us and whatnot. It's fine. And mind you, it's not about it. Your kids are going to have to see conflict resolution. They're going to see 10 times worse shit out in public. Yep. Yes, okay, they saw you fight, but did they see you come together afterward and communicate properly and talk tenderly to each other and fix it and talk it out and show like did you show your children who you could be in a moment of frustration where you needed to implement love into the process? Because obviously we're all human. We all get angry, right? And that is something that Wade and I think a lot of people, like they idolize our relationship. Like if you look at any of like the picture, like the comments on any of our pictures and stuff like that, I think it's absolutely beautiful, but they'll always be like, oh my God, my favorite couple, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I'm like, that's wonderful, but you have no idea what we have gone through to be here, what we have went through. Like I have been so angry at him. He's been so angry at me, but that man has never raised his voice to me once in my entire relationship. And there was a part of me that I had to deal with because I'm a Scorpio and I needed a reaction because my dad would give me the reaction. I'd like go to him and be like, you hurt my feelings, and be like, don't fucking treat me like a 2-year-old. Like would get in my face about it, So I would expect the reaction and I would try to egg it out of him. And that's something that I had to come to terms with, is that he was my mirror. So him not responding and him just being like, like, but he would like posture up. Like obviously there was like a part of him, like that old part of him where he's like, I'm not going to say anything because like my dad told me you don't say shit to get it put on record. You know what I mean? Like, but it's like, husband's like a super old cholo, like, but
what's so cool though is you have learned from all those experiences, and you learn from your father and you learn from your family dynamic growing up, and you're making actual changes. Majority of people, unfortunately, they use their past and their childhood trauma as an excuse. Like how many people today have these toxic, shitty relationships, and they're like, oh, well, it's because I don't know any better. No, like we have all the tools today available to be able to fix yourself on whatever freaking level, that you have.
Well, everybody who you meet is a mirror. Okay. Yeah. So like you are my mirror, I am yours. Right. Like there are reasons why people are vibrationally aligned and put together. Like I don't believe in twin flames. I do believe in soulmates. I do believe that you're allowed to have more than one soulmate. I do believe that you are allowed to connect with multiple souls. I do believe in karmic experiences. I do believe in cosmic experiences. You know what I mean? I think that there are people that come together for a reason. I like to say a reason, a season, or a lifetime, right?
Yeah.
As humans, we create attachments, okay? And attachments make us feel safe, especially if there were things that were lacking in our childhood, right? So it's like really intense and crazy to sit back and realize that a majority of the time people will keep certain people around due to attachments. A lot of women with daddy issues will wait for their man to be a better man because they waited for their dad to be a better man to them, right? And vice versa. Same with men that have mommy issues. They are waiting for their women to be better to them. But also, you will date a person that you are trying to heal, right? Or you're trying to heal a part of yourself within another person. And that's something that's really, really crazy. So yes, there are people that will not do the work, but there are people that the universe is like, okay, hey, we're gonna repeat some patterns here. We're gonna go through these patterns to kind of make you realize it. So you are dating your pattern. And that is something that a lot of people don't understand, is that if they're dealing with the same thing over and over again and they're getting upset about it and they're doing these things, they're not the problem.
Yeah.
You are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like they are the person that you are dating is not the problem. You are the problem, because you are repeating a pattern by not breaking out of it, by trying to heal whatever is inside of you from your childhood, or whatever you went through as a child, or whatever you did not get and you're trying to seek it, right? So say like somebody is asking for an immense amount of love from somebody else. What I always say, my clients will come in and they'll be like, I'm dating this person and they're just not showing up for me the way that I need them to show up, right? And I sit back and I go, okay, so you're asking this person for love, right? You feel comfortable asking them for love, but they're not giving you the love because they're only capable of loving themselves at the mental capacity, or loving you at the mental capacity that they love themselves, okay? So what's really crazy is that I ask them, I say, hey, if they're not able to love you in the way that you want them to, it's because you taught them how to love you. You accepted a certain level of love, right? So you not utilizing your throat chakra, setting healthy boundaries, being upfront with what you want, being upfront with your needs, like setting the tone for what you need, set you up for failure because you wanted to be loved so deeply that you allowed that level of love in. And then you started recognizing your self-worth and being like, no, I'm leveling up. I want this and I want this and I want this. And then like majority of the time it only comes out in fights. Like what you want only comes out in arguments because, you know, but I asked my clients, I say, hey, with the level of love that you are asking for, would you give it to yourself?
Interesting.
Would you give that love that you are asking for to yourself? Would you like you're asking to, so I think that that's something that people also need to recognize in relationships. It's like, what is that book? Like Codependent No More. Like it's super old, right? But it has some very like strong points in it. You know, you cannot be codependent on another person for the love that you wouldn't even give yourself. You cannot ask for that from another person if you wouldn't even give it to yourself. It's so silly, because like if you're not giving it to yourself, how are you going to know what that love looks like? How are you going to know what an extra amount of love looks like, you know? So I think that that's something that needed to be recognized in my relationship as well. So like I wasn't as codependent on him to give me the love that I didn't receive when I was a child, and vice versa, because I am like, I'm like hot and cold, I guess. So back to astrology real quick. Him being a Gemini, me being a Scorpio, I'm a Capricorn rising with a Virgo moon. My chart is, and I have a Capricorn stellium in my first house. If you know anything about birth charts, which you probably don't, it's okay. But if you are looking into it, you should really look into your birth chart, especially like women ask you for your birth time because obviously they want to know more about you.
I was born at 6 a.m., May 4th.
I love that you know that. That's
Exactly 6 a.m.?
Exactly 6 a.m.?
I like right around there.
On May 4th?
May 4th. May the 4th be with me.
May the 4th be with you. Jesus.
I'm
that's
a Star Wars baby.
Yeah, are you? Yeah. My mom, that's funny. Both of my parents are Tauruses.
My middle name's Yoda.
You lie.
I have a question. If somebody somebody heard it, like they realize that what you're saying, they're in their relationship of like that person not meeting them like with the love that they're asking for.
Yeah.
Is it deemed like it's just done, or like can you teach that person, like I guess how would somebody navigate that? Like they feel like they're in that situation.
It takes two to tango.
Yeah.
Okay. So, one, healthy communication, but it can't be one-sided. So the thing is that like what me and my husband, we went through is like I have, like he has like avoidant attachment where I have like I'm very needy. Like I'm like, okay, like I want this. Like especially like my ADHD. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I want you to be in the room with me while I clean. I want you to help me with this. Like I want to focus on what, and I'm a lot more nitpicky, especially with my Virgo moon. And that's something that I have had to recognize and come to terms with, that I just kind of analyze things to a level of perfection. Because like, what is it? Like the shadow side of Virgo moon is like, if it's not perfect, it's nothing. And that is something that I've had to struggle with, because it even relates to me. Like if I'm not perfect, I'm nothing. And that's something that I've had to overcome with like perfection. So that played a big role in our relationship, because I was like, if it's not perfect, I'm not getting what I want. And I had to like not lower my expectations, but make them realistic in a way, especially because I read a lot of romance books. I know all the romance girlies hear me. Like, we cannot compare our book boyfriends to our husbands or to our men. You know what I mean? Because obviously those books are written by a fucking woman, and it's not real. Yeah, it's not real. Like, and
like it's a fantasy.
Yes, that's literally what it is.
My wife has a whole bookshelf full of those books.
We would be friends. That's like, the same.
It's like porn, Chewy.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, but it's like
not real life.
It's
not real life, buddy. You can't perform like that.
But what's crazy? It's like it's not just the fact that like those books utilize a woman's sacral, okay? But it's literally that it's an emotional porn. You know what I mean? It's like because that it taps into a side of our brain where we're like, oh my God, the emotional aspect. Like, this is what we crave. This is what we want. But most women won't even speak up to their husbands about it. And most men won't be able to provide that because they were never taught how. So like, obviously those books being written by women, it's hard because we'll come to have that level of expectation. Like, I'll never forget, I went to a tarot reading on my 30th birthday, and it was just for fun. I was like, okay, we'll go to brunch. And then I told my husband, I was like, pull over here. I want to go get my cards read just for fun. And I go in, and the guy looks at me, and he's like, you have a very strong man. And I was like, I fucking do. Yeah, like absolutely. 6'5", 300 pounds. Like, this man's the beast with like old man strength. You know what I mean? And he looks at me and he goes, no, he's like one of the real last true like manly men. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't say that like there's not like manly men out there, but he's like where there's like that emotional, just like, no, get it done, move forward, like the last of a certain generation, Yeah. And I looked at him and was like, yeah. And he goes, but I see something else coming in here of like a false masculine presence. And I said, okay. And at this point, I was like 150 books deep for the year of like starting, like I'd read a book, and then my toxic ass would go and start a fight with him and be like, you're not doing shit the way that I want. And I went through this. It was like, 2 years ago, right? Yeah. That he told me this, and he was like, he looks at me and he goes, are you a reader? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, you cannot idolize what you read and make it reality. And mind you, like, I don't know if you guys know, like, your Lilith sign. You don't, but it's like your Lilith sign is like the level of shit that you're going to go through in your life, like how you deal with things, how you deal with your darkness, how you deal with your shadow, right? Yeah. I have a Lilith in Pisces. I'm all about escapism. I fucking, like, if I'm going through something, I'll read. If I'm like, that's why I used to be a runner. If something would happen, I'd fucking move to a new town, fucking like make new friends, start over, whatever it may be, right? Not anymore. And I think that's something that I had to like face, especially with our relationship, was that my expectations had to be realistic, but I also needed to make sure that my needs were still met emotionally. So meeting him where he needed to be met emotionally was a big part of it, you know? And I think that, like I said, it takes two to tango. You have to utilize that communication, and you have to be open and honest with each other. Like, you cannot wait until things pile up and blow up for you to be heard.
Like, you know, I've had friends like this where it's like, I see friends dating somebody and it's like, yo, like, you're not even the same person when you're around her. I was like, how long are you going to wear this Halloween mask for?
It's really a shame, the things that we'll do to try to make people love us.
And then here's what happens is it comes a point in time where you can only play the part and, you know, act a certain way for so long before the true colors come out.
Yeah.
Well, then guess what happens? Then you speak up, and now you start communicating on, you know, hey, I need this. Hey, I need this.
Yeah.
And your partner's looking at you. Well, where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah.
Well, I've actually needed this from the beginning.
Yeah.
But I was just, you know, holding back on the communication. I think that's a huge one.
It's huge.
And especially, you know, I came from a household like this as well. You know, there wasn't that communication.
Yeah.
So if you don't grow up in a household where parents are communicating, you see, you know, people working through issues, your parents working through issues, you don't really know how to deal with that.
Yeah. See, like, you know? My household was very reactive, where his household was very avoidant. Yeah. Like, his parents didn't communicate, didn't talk. My parents were fucking at each other's throats, like just angry, yelling, screaming, whatever they could to try to get their point across. So that was how I was raised to have conflict resolution, was to yell and scream and fight, when he was like, I'm just going to go take a nap and not talk to you for 12 hours. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we both had to come together where it was like, okay, I'm coming to communicate something to you about my needs to make our relationship better. Not because I would get upset. I still get upset sometimes if he comes at me or comes back at me with like a level of defense, right? Yeah. So that's what we talk about. It's like, hey, you don't need to defend yourself, because I'm not coming at you to make you wrong. I'm coming at you to make you see something that we need to change together as a couple to make this work better. Like, I'm trying to make your life more peaceful. You know what I mean? So like, but also, what is it? It's like men fall in love with the women that stress them out, while we fall in love with the men that make us feel safe, you know? Yeah.
But when a man surrenders, is when a man is at peace.
Yes, 100%. And there is definitely a level of surrender, especially because your woman's there to be your queen. She's there to like guide you. So that's what it is. It's like the man puts all of the ideas that are crafted by the, like, you say, like, say your girlfriend comes up to you, right? And she's like, do you have a business venture? And you go, yeah, I want to do this. And she goes, all right, got it. She could build you an entire empire with her intuitive creative nature, and assist you. That's what men and women are supposed to do. They're supposed to assist each other. They're supposed to allow each other to like flow together and utilize both the masculine and feminine energy to come together, right? We were taught to clash. That men were supposed to do everything and women were supposed to just be at home. And in reality, we're supposed to help each other. We're supposed to create businesses together. Yeah. You know? Roles
are truly important.
Yes.
And I think you know, there's a lot of weird chitter chatter out there about, you know, men's roles, women's roles. You got, you know, you got these like alpha females, and, you know, there gets to be some messy shit I won't even get into, but
to each their own.
Yeah.
You know?
But I think the roles are truly super important.
I think that
makes it work.
When a man is capable of how do I say this? Because obviously, like, it takes a lot for a man to put a woman in her feminine nature to be able to feel safe, to be able to kind of relax and to regulate her nervous system, all of the above. But it takes a level of surrender from the woman to be able to let go of her masculine protective guard, to be able to respond to a man like that. And it's like, we're not taught how to like feel safe with each other. Yeah. You know? And I think that that's something like, especially because like with alpha females, that's coming from a very protective place. Fuck yeah for them. They're healing in their own way. You know? But there are also like the submissive females that are like, I want to be loved, I want to be adored, but they also have probably gone through so many hard things that they have a level of protection that's blocking them. And that's not anything to be ashamed of. We all heal differently. We all heal. We've all gone through heavy shit, you know? So like,
so how do you navigate that then? Like, how do you navigate like the wall, right? Like the masculine energy to become, you know, to submit and kind of, that's the wrong word, but like to let go of that and like be able to be nurtured and taken care of.
Trust. Trust is probably the start. It's like the start of your foundation. Okay, it's what you build upon. Okay, I need to be able to trust that you've got me. I need to be able to trust that you're capable of hearing what I need to communicate to you without like you thinking that I'm attacking you, right? Where I can be heard safely and seen safely. Like, if you're having trouble with your woman, you need to look at where she needs to feel seen, look at where she needs to feel heard, look at where you need to talk to her in a gentle way. Because listen, we don't really respond well to anger or to like that, like, I don't want to deal with this. We're very much like, okay, because we're just trying to figure it out. But also, like, us as women, we have to figure out our own shit too. We have to allow that trust to come forward. We have to allow you to take the lead. Like, I talk to all my, it's simple things, right? Like putting yourself in your feminine, and like this works for some people, not for all people. So take what I say with a grain of salt. Whatever resonates. It's literally like, I will, like if I'm walking up to a door, right? If we're walking up to a door of a restaurant, I stop in front of the door. I'm not touching that fucking handle. Yeah. My husband is, and he's opening that door. Yep. Like, my husband now fights me. If I reach for the car door, he's like, what are you doing? Like, he'll like hit, you know? But it's literally little things like that where it's like, okay, I feel comfortable asking him to help me. I feel comfortable asking him for support. Like, I have women that come to me and they're like, my husband, I've asked him 30 times to help me clean or to take the trash out or whatever, you know? And they get so fucking angry about it. And then they just do it themselves, right? They'll just be like, I'm going to take the trash out because you won't. And then it starts a big rift. You go up to him and you say, hey, that trash is overflowing and I really would like to continue cleaning. Please take it out right now. Yeah. Communicate. Yeah. Communicate. Like, it's not the fact that like you weren't heard one time, you know? Yeah. And I know that's something that's very hard that people struggle with. Like, if you have to repeat yourself multiple times, but that's the thing. We're all just kids at heart. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you sit there and like, obviously if you're communicating with a child, you're patient with a child, right? But we're not patient with each other. We're like, you're an adult. What the fuck is your problem? You should know this shit by now, right? So like, obviously there's levels to it where it's like, okay, like, and then if your man doesn't do things or your woman doesn't do things, it's like, I'm raising you. I feel like I'm not with a partner. I feel like I'm with like a child. Yeah. Right. So you have to communicate properly, and you have to literally allow them to step up for themselves.
Yep. Step into that role.
Yes, to step into that role. Yep. Because if you start pulling back, doing everything for them, they're going to have to do it themselves, right? And if they don't step up, they don't step up. But if they do step up, that's them trying to actually move towards making things better.
I think so many men don't understand that is like you want your woman to act a certain way.
Yeah.
You have to step up as a man in a certain way.
Yeah.
And if you step up as a man in those areas and provide those gaps and those needs of your woman, you will be shocked that they will they're going to step in line and pick up those areas of slack that you've probably been wanting from them.
Yeah. I think the thing is that, we're very fucking simple creatures.
Yeah.
We're so, and I think that you guys have been taught that like, we're not, you know, you guys have been taught that we're like so complex and we have all these, and mind you, we do like, what is it? Like you guys, 2 thoughts a minute in your head, lucky motherfuckers. Like you guys get to think about 2 things per minute. Women think about 50 plus things per minute. Like,
well, every
nuts.
Every action causes a reaction.
Yes, and we analyze and we dissect and we go through things where we, especially because a lot of us are trained to be hyper vigilant and protective over ourselves as women, you know? So like if you don't make us feel safe in these certain areas, we are not going to allow you to provide the level of protection. We're going to take care of it ourselves. And that creates like alpha females have been hurt. Have been hurt. And mind you, I was
got that energy for a reason.
Yeah, we got that energy for a reason. Like, dude, I think that it goes without saying that there is a problem, like especially like in my past with how I've had to deal with like my own father and stuff like that. And like, mind you, this is different for everybody. Like I said, take what resonates. Like how I've had to deal with my own father. Like, dude, I've head butted dudes that are fucking 6'5". Like I've fucking physically fought men. Mind you, I box, but like it's literally like that's something that I had to, like if you spoke to me in a certain way, oh my God. Like there was no way that there was no fucking talking. And like, mind you, like I don't talk. Like it's just fucking, we'll throw hands and that's it. But like I was trained very well. But like it's not that's not something that I would want to show from my daughter, you know? Like I'd want to show my daughter who she should feel safe with and who like the type of men that don't bring out that side of you and what to avoid. And like, you know, it's like now I have a 7-year-old little girl and a 14-year-old like stepdaughter that I have to be the example for. And mind you, obviously they have seen me fight with their dad and that's fine because they've seen the conflict resolution. They've seen how we've come together. Obviously it's like, they're going to go through their own level of healing with those things. And I'm going to be there to assist them through that. Because I had to go through it, you know?
And it's kind of a weird take, but I think it's honestly sometimes good for, you know, your kids to see that like, hey, not everything's perfect. Not everything's easy. And I think it's actually good to see like, you know, hey, like, we're going to go through shit's going to happen, but we're going to work through this. And
that's the positive part is that it gets resolved.
I don't think that's a weird take at all. I think that's how it should be.
One thing I'd like to know, and I think this might be a good little thing to kind of close us up. So you have obviously tons of clients. You're booked out, you know, real far. You know, you have people who come in, you know, do a variety of different packages with them, different healing, etc. They get tattooed, they're on their way. What my question for you would be is, do you do like any like post-healing follow-up with your clients, or do they come back to you for like other sessions? Because I think this would be something, you know, anyone who's watching that, you know, might want to book with you, I think they're probably thinking in their head, like, you know, should I do this? Should I not do this? And, you know, how would this benefit me? So I would be curious, just, you know, just in general, talk a little bit about, you know, I'm sure you have clients who reach out to you, give you feedback, you know, tell you how it's changed them or benefited them, whatever. Talk a little bit about that, you know, post healing, you know, Reiki session with you, package, however you want to witchcraft, whatever it be. What's been your feedback, and how does that look?
Honestly, everyone's feedback has left me with a level of gratitude that is like so powerful. I think that when I started this, I never really realized how big it was going to get.
Yeah.
And how wonderful and fulfilling it was going to be and feel. And I have clients that will message me months, years after.
Yeah.
And they'll tell me like what I predicted for them in the session came true, or they up and quit their job that I told them that they were going to quit. And because I'll pull cards and we'll talk about it, and I'll be like, this is what's not serving you. This is what I feel like, because I don't give advice.
Yeah.
Okay. That's something that like I don't want to ever do with my clients, because like you have free will. Power of free will is absolutely everything. So like if I tell you like, I think you should do this, 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 and this, you're going to be like, what? Why? You have to be able to make your own decisions, right? So I try to communicate to my clients things in a way where it makes them have acts of self-realization, where they find their clarity within themselves. Like I communicate, and that's a way of also protecting my energy as well. But I make them look at things through their own personal lens and make them see their own shadows and give love to their shadows, and they go through healing, like they're going through
guidance.
it.
It's not really advice. It's you're kind of guiding them on this whole like self-discovery.
Yeah. Well, because listen, like I'm a channeler. Okay. So being a psychic intuitive, I channel. I'm capable of connecting with loved ones on the other side, all of these different things. So I'm able to utilize all these different aspects in our session to be able to provide the correct guidance. But the thing is that I'm channeling their subconscious energy. So their subconscious energy is being channeled through me, and I'm telling them what it wants them to know. So their higher self, you know what I mean? And mind you, like I wouldn't separate you from your higher self. You're the highest version of yourself that you are right now, right?
Yeah.
It's like the more that you like, oh, I want to reach my higher self, I'm like, you're separating yourself from yourself. Like you are your highest self.
Yeah.
Chill out,
Yeah.
But it's like, I think that it's so fucking cool to recognize and see the amount of growth that comes from these sessions. I do check in, especially if like, because I'll check in if I feel like you don't need to check in. If I'm like, you fucking got this, I don't need to check in. But there are people where I'm like, you made a vow to yourself. I'm gonna come and check up on you and be like, did you make that shit happen? And that is something that has been happening my whole entire career. Because before I started Reiki and before I became a Reiki master, I was doing these energetic exchanges with people that were causing them to be like it was like they were coming to see me and they're like, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. How should I handle it? What should I do? And I'm like telling them all these things. And I realized how they would come back and they'd still be going through the same stuff because they didn't do the work afterward. So mind you, when people are coming to see me, like I said, you cannot heal everybody, right? So they are only going to take what resonates and what is meant for them, and they're going to run with that. And I think that's good enough for me. In my opinion, I'm like, if you
did your
take,
part of, like, go that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you take one good, healthy thing from our session, I'm fucking stoked for you. You know what I mean? But like after you leave me, you have to do the work. It's like, you have a tattoo, I'm going to send you home with aftercare instructions. It's your job to heal it from that point forward, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same with this energetic session. I'm giving you tools A, B, and C. You pick the one that you want to utilize first, and then if you use the rest of them, bam, that's it, right? So it's just a matter of like understanding that everybody is on their own journey, and everybody's on their own path to self-discovery and their own path to alignment. And I just get to, like I say, be be a stepping stone.
Chloe, thank you so much for showing
Yeah,
your
thank
energy
you.
with us.
Honestly, this was an awesome conversation.
I'm super stoked I got to be here with you guys. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Of course.
Thanks for inviting us.
We will.
Before we let you out, what can you tell us? You spent about over 2 hours with us. How do you
really?
What's your take on the energy that Evan and I bring into a room?
Oh my God. First of all, like the first time I met you, connected immediately. We were like chopping it up, having a great time. I think that you guys are extremely personable, and I think that you both exude like a willingness to learn, and I think that that's one of the most beautiful things about the two of you, because you can like clearly see it. Like you're extremely invested, which means that you're connecting with the souls that you're working with and dealing with, and that's going to bring you very far. I think that also like it's just the willingness to learn. You guys are like really beautiful individuals, especially like, dude, you're an awesome dad, and I only got to talk to you for like 10 minutes about that, you know, and I can see how you want to be better and you want to work and be more for both your woman and your child, you know what I mean? Like I loved that about you the first moment that you told that about, like, to me, you know. And same with you. I feel like you're extremely personable. I feel like you care a lot about your friends. The energy here is very, very good. Obviously we all have things to work on, but as long as you're working on them and you're actually putting forth that effort, you guys are gonna go really fucking far. This is awesome. This is very cool what you're doing.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. Thank you.
yeah.
Absolutely. And we'll make sure to put all your links, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, all your socials. We'll put it in the bio. So
absolutely,
anyone that's watching and you'd like to get on the books, make sure you plan in advance.
For October 2026.
Yes, sir. All right.
Pick up on
thank you so much.
Yep. Hey, appreciate it. See you guys on the next one.
Bye. Oh my gosh, that was great, guys.
That was great.